Good save. And Mount Pleasant again on the hunt. And more a cross than a shot. Grabbed by Foster in goal, and referee Nation had seen enough. And by the time he ended affairs, neither team had managed to find the back of the net the next game. So Harbourview against Mobay United. This is Robinson. Fires this cross in, and that should have been put away by Nicholas Hamilton. He couldn't beat the goalkeeper Staple, and another chance that went begging. That's Colorado Murray there on the stretch. Couldn't get a boot onto it. And then Mobay, what did they have to say for themselves? This near post header, the flick. And then Zimenez trying to repeat the trick from free kick range. Brought a good save out of the Mobay United custodian. But they drew blanks in that game, Harbourview and Mobay United, and they shared the points for Mobay. That's a good result to staunch the bleeding of recent weeks. Harbourview not the result that they would have wanted. This matchup pits 4th against 9th, Dunbeholden against Humberland, separated by 10 points in the table and 5 places. And the task ahead of Humberland to score the goals to beat Humberland, a rather daunting one. Let's hear from both camps. Chris Taylor was on interview duties.
Ricky, 4 wins for Dunbeholden in your last 5 matches. How important it is to continue this trend and ward the boys away from complacency?
It's very important, you know. We're not where we want to be. I think we're at 4th or 3rd now. We want to be at the top when the round ends, so we have to win today.
And in terms of these tough matches, what is it that needs to be done to make sure that you come out on top after the 90 minutes?
First of all, we can't think about complacency or underestimating anyone. This team we're playing, they're not at the top of the table or near the top, but these are the teams who are going to come and disrupt your rhythm at times. So we have to make sure of that at first.
And how do you feel about the team formation? Because many have thought that, for example, Nicoy Christian, who provided the 2 assists in the last match, is playing a bit wide. Do you think that maybe he should be more in a more central position?
He's a player who can play anywhere in the midfield, you know, attacking wise. So I don't think he has a problem. We talked to him about it and he's willing to do the work. So that's why he's there.
And about this matchup, obviously you have dominated Humberland over the years. Are you coming into this one viewing it in the same way?
No, we can't look at it that way. What's gone is gone. We have to come today and play. And as I told you before, they're here to disrupt our rhythm and we can't afford that today.
Zelano, not much playing time this season, but how important is your experience for this Dunbeholden team in terms of being successful?
Well, I mean, in training, I think I also help some other players with just team morale. I mean, I haven't been playing much, but in training, I'm doing what I can do. Just waiting on the time because I was coming off a minor injury, so I'm just waiting to get the opportunity to play again.
And how do you keep yourself motivated? Obviously sitting on the sidelines based on your resume, that might be difficult for you, but what are the kind of things you do to keep yourself prepared and ready?
Well, I mean, the passion I have for football, I just can't stop. I mean, at the end of the day, the team is getting the results that we need. So I'm just here waiting to see if when I'm being inducted into the team, I'm giving what I can give and what everybody's expecting for me to give.
That's Zelano Barnes. What about his teammate Tafaroy Bygrave, named in Jamaica's 23-man World Cup qualification squad? Big call-up for Tafaroy Bygrave, Chris Taylor. His play certainly warrants his selection to the Reggae Boys senior squad.
Yeah, and he's been excellent in front of goal. 8 goals on the season, 9 goals in as many matches, dating back to his final match of last season, where he scored in a 5-2 loss, but certainly been very clinical in front of goal, very aware and a strong presence for this Dunbeholden team if they're going to be successful as well.
Well, the Humberland team don't have many camp followers here at Sabina Park, but Chris Taylor spoke with the key men in the camp.
Andrew, 5 matches without defeat. Are things coming together nicely for Humberland now?
Definitely, you know, one of the things that we're trying to do is ensure that we play both sides of the field. That's not conceding goals and getting our opportunities and taking them. So, you know, we have really fixed our defensive issues now. We want to continue in the same vein, and it's just about getting on the offensive end and taking the opportunities when they come our way.
And about that offensive end, of course, you're coming off of a victory, but how do you go about in the training session talking to the boys about creating more opportunities and putting yourselves in that position for 3 points?
Well, what we did this week, we did a lot of finishing this week, so hopefully it spills over into the game today. We want people to get in the box and getting in attacking areas where they can finish.
And about this matchup as well, how have you prepared for this one? Not necessarily been a happy one for Humberline over the years.
Definitely, they are our bogey team, but we hope things can change today. We haven't beaten them since they have come into the league, but we hope that today things will change.
And are we looking at the same lineup for what we saw last week?
There are some subtle changes, where some people are out with injury. As you know, Rico Edwards is out with a red card, so he won't be available. So we're going to make some adjustments.
Raylan, talk to me about your overseas stint. How was it? You were away for about 2 years in Malta. What was that experience like?
Well, it was a fantastic experience for me, playing in Malta. As a Jamaican going overseas, it's always good because the culture and the football is different over there, so I have to try and adapt. It was a fantastic experience for me.
And coming back into the Premier League, how do you find the quality here and how have you adjusted into this Humberline team?
Well, I've adjusted pretty well because, this is my second game. Today is going to be my third, I can say, I contribute to the first win. So I'm happy to be a part of the team and I think I adjusted well.
So Running Man is the name of a hit Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from back in the 90s, but this is Humberline's version of the Running Man, Chris Taylor, Shamari Dallas.
Yeah, impressive player, very good work rate. 2 goals on the season so far for Dallas. Does get himself in goal-scoring positions very often. Said he wants to improve his clinical ability. He has 3 goals to his Premier League career, but yeah, his work rate is best asset and invaluable for this Humberline team.
22 years old, Shamari Dallas, and already establishing himself as one of the indispensable players for coach Andrew Price. So we are warming up to kickoff, drawing ever closer to the start of this Jamaica Premier League clash when we return, starting 11s and kickoff. Back we are at Sabina Park in Kingston, Jamaica for this football match. Yes, you've been hearing right all this time and you heard right just now. It's a football game. Dunbeholden against Humberline in the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel match week 10 and the penultimate game in this match week. It picks Dunbeholden from St. Catherine against Humberline from Clarendon. There are the Dunbeholden boys, the St. Catherine boys in the blue shorts and the white jerseys. There's Nicole Christian. There's the shot of Andrew Price, the coach of Humberline, and beside him is his able assistant O'Neill Bigger Thompson, and there's You can call him national striker now, a Tafaroy Bygrave in the Jamaica 23-man squad for World Cup qualifiers. We can read that full squad list for you if my producer holds his finger on the button. It's Andre Blake, Dylan Barnes, Amal Knight, Damian Lowe, Richard King, Adrian Mariappa, Javane Brown, Gregory Lay, Jamoy Topi, Ricardo Thomas, DeMar Rose, Ravel Morrison, Christopher Pearson, Devon Williams as we look at Harold Thomas, the coach, he's not in the squad, Ramon Howell, Alex Marshall, Nicholas Nelson, Tariq Zimenez, Lamar Walker, Dwayne Atkinson, Leon Bailey, Andre Gray, Daniel Green and Tafaroy Bygrave. Chris, there are 4 players from Cavalier in that squad, 2 from Waterhouse, 2 from Harbourview, 1 from Dunbeholden, 1 from Portmore, 1 from Alliance United. It is very well represented because 11 players from the Jamaica Premier League are in that World Cup qualifying squad.
Yeah, great to see. Great to see that the scouts are here watching as well, to see the performances of players just generally throughout. And yeah, players performing in the Jamaica Premier League, being rewarded at the higher level. Excellent to see the national representation locally.
Absolutely so, and the national coach, Paul Hall, is here, sitting with one of his assistants, Meron Gordon, and their colleagues running the rule over the players on show today. So the added pressure of knowing that the boss, the national senior boss, is here watching. Let's see what kind of effect it has on the player performances this afternoon. So as Chris said, a rich reward, especially for that man wearing the number 17 jersey, a Tafaroy Bygrave. His 8 goals so far, league leading 8 goals, has not gone unnoticed, been rewarded with a call-up. He'll be playing in World Cup qualifying action for Jamaica not too long from now. O'Dane Murray wearing the captain's armband. Let's have a listen.
The border is the man is monetized. Same thing for you, alright? Organize the team. Remember, referees, we are here to officiate, leave officiating to the referees, alright? At the end of the day, make a better team win. We have blue here, we have yellow, blue, calling the yellow. Blue it is. You can't throw the ball, I can shoot side. I stay on this side, so the ball is here, alright? Enjoy, all the best. All the best. Father God, come to your presence, ask for gracious blessings, your guidance and divine coverage. Lead us, dear Father God, to make the right decision, dear Father God.
So last season, Veer United were the team nobody wanted to play because they were very hard to beat. The new Veer is Humberline, extremely hard to beat Humberline. As we look at the Dunbeholden starting 11, Damian Hyde, Shaquille Dyer, Sean Dewar, Shakeen Powell, Cleon Pusey, Saniki Burton, Demario Phillips, Fabian McCarthy, Peter McGregor, Decoy Christian, and a Tafaroy Bygrave. It's an unchanged Dunbeholden team from the one we last saw here, dazzling under the lights at Savannah Park last week, Chris.
For sure, and they'll be playing with a 4-2-3-1 formation. And as I said, partnering Bygrave up front, Peter McGregor with his impressive performance from last week. Looking forward to see them.
Yes, sir. Humberland, they're starting 11. Kenil Petrie in goal, Shamari Dallas, Gregory Lewis, Xavier Virgo, Rohan Richards, Andre Clennon, Rayon Paisley, Kenil Hyde, O'Dane Murray, Shane Barnes, and Vishnu Harris. 4 of the starting 11, over 30 for Humberland. Andrew Price blending youth and experience and blending it with a big spoon.
Yeah, 4-1-4-1 is what they'll be playing. Andre Clennon coming off of his first goal of the season last week. And good to see Vishnu Harris, the experienced man, back in the starting lineup, a 30-goal man in the Premier League.
Yeah, Andre Clennon may say, well, George, you need to stay away from the commentary because when you're not here, I score. I have never seen an Andre Clennon goal in the Premier League for all the games he's played, and I've always been rooting for him to score. And he got one when I was absent the last time. Anyway, we're on the way here at Savannah Park. And Powell gets an early touch for Dunbeholden to his captain Dyer. That's what they like to do, Dunbeholden. They knock it around at the back, take their time with it, and then they'll go long looking for Bygrave, and they can look for McGregor as well as first throw to Andrew Price's team. Kenny Hyde trotting up to take the throw. A 2-time Premier League winner with Jerome Waits, Arnett Gardens. So has the kind of experience that will spare him from the Andre Clennon wrath if the ball is not passed properly. Dallas bundled over in the center circle. Saniki Burton, the offender. First free kick of the game goes to Humberland. Hide away from Bygrave to Paisley. Forward for Clennon, but a little bit too much oomph on the pass. And it's the first goal kick as we look again at the Dunbeholden bench. Carter Smith, assistant coach. There's Big Harold Thomas, nice man, experienced coach, former head coach at Harbourview as well. And he has the right kind of Premier League experience to his name.
Remember him in the days of Rivoli, exciting stuff. At that time, the likes of Devon Hodges with him.
Yes. Patrick Beach, Mobio Paraku, Garfield Reed, Omar Cummings, who later left the Rivoli and went to light up Major League Soccer with Colorado Rapids rather.
Yeah.
MVP in the MLS. Rivoli product, benefited from Harold Thomas's tutorage. So, yeah. Dallas, hard landing for him, upended by Fabian McCarthy, who was falling and then bowled over. Dallas knocked him over like a 9-pin, and the running man down for the moment. McCarthy sees the funny side. Here's Big Andrew Price. Spent 30 years as a player and head coach, administrator at Boys Town. Now looking to fashion Humberland into a contending Premier League team. Harris to Dallas. Dallas gives you the impression that he'll run all day and then run in the night.
It's not just an impression, it's a reality.
Visional Harris was on there, Chris. For a moment I wondered if he was offside. Gregory Lewis's pass, I think, was overcooked, and I know you're going to gripe about that as usual. But if the pass were better, Chris, he would have been in, because the assistance flag stayed down on the far side.
Yeah, not being too hard on the pass, but yeah, I think Harris's reaction gave the impression that he thought he was offside as well, so delayed.
But maybe, Chris, 2 years ago, Visional Harris would have caught that.
Yeah, maybe.
Clennon beats Dyer in the air and gets fouled. Cleared at the referee, Andre Clennon, but referee Mason said, settle down, son, it's yours. It's Humberland ball. Actually, it's a throw. Thought it was a foul. Kenny Hyde, a player, a good player, but not a flashy player, so he won't get headlines, won't have people talking about him, but coaches like him because of his intelligence. This is the super veteran Xavier Virgo, who has followed Price from Boys Town, both Boys Town men through and through. They may be earning their corn elsewhere, but they'll tell you that B and T are in their deoxyribonucleic acid. It's DNA, folks. Yeah, it's in their BT. Here's Burton. Started this campaign, played the first 8 match weeks as a Portmore United player. And came over to Dunbeholden in the last match week, right into the starting 11, and has maintained that place. Here's the shutting down Dyer, but he got away with it. This is Pusey. Christian. Forward to Pusey. McGregor, good first touch, excellent from Peter McGregor early. Pushed off Barnes' chest. Pusey, can he get the cross in? It's whipped. Not whipped. With quality. Easy in the end for Petrie.
On paper it says that they're playing 4-2-3-1 Dunbeholden, but I'd like to think it's more of a 4-4-2, Judge, because McGregor is very much like a centre forward, joined by Brave up there. He doesn't really play as a wing player, McGregor, and that strong stature as well. I think it's good for this Dunbeholden team.
Excellent play by McCarthy in midfield to find Bygrave. It's back out to Pusey. McGregor waiting on the cross. He meets it with a header. High in the end, but he acknowledges the quality of pass.
Yeah, McGregor good in the air as well. As they're coming into this Dunbeholden team, the ex-McGrath man, very good in the air. We're the number 10 for McGrath. And yeah, towing presence, strong on the ball, speed as well. Still not a big fan of Nicoy Christian. You heard me in the interviews asking about that, him playing wide, but I think in an event to try and get all the players they want in the starting lineup there, they have had to somewhat play a couple of players not necessarily in their best area.
And just so nobody sees you on the street and attacks you, you said you're not a big fan of Nicoy Christian, but you didn't finish the sentence. What you mean is you're not a big fan of him playing out wide?
Yeah, out wide. Oh, yeah, certainly a big fan of him generally.
Because people will tell you that, Chris, what did you say? When you did, that's not what you meant. But it was important for you to finish the sentence, my friend.
Agreed.
Dewars passes bad. Paisley picks it off. Fuse tackling back, fouls him. That's Paisley, 19 years old. Rowan Richards. Too long for Clennon. Shot on goal from Gregory Lewis. May have taken the deflection that it did. So Lewis, difficult skill, the chest trap, and then landing, upon landing, executing the shot. And a Dunbeholden man blocked it on its path towards David Hart's goal.
Yeah, I like the inclusion of Paisley into the starting lineup. I think it has added something for Humberland, and its link-up ability with Clennon has really been excellent. But yeah, getting forward, Gregory Lewis doesn't really get in goal-scoring positions often. Had a real tough game in their last encounter, spent a lot of time on the turf.
Plays this corner, bends towards the middle of the goal. It's headed by Vishnu Harris and saved by his ex-Arnett Gardens teammate, Damien Hatt. So chalk up the first opportunity to Humberland. The Statman has that down. First shot on target for the Clarendon team from Harris's header.
Has one assist already on the season, Paisley. And very nearly had a second. Vishnu Harris back into the starting lineup. And with his experience, it certainly will help Humberland. This is a tough match for them. And a match that they have had no success in their head-to-heads since Dunbeholden has come into the league. So, yeah, big game today.
Beautiful take by Bygrove from a hit and hope cross. Shakeen Powell! Just let it run across onto his right foot to work the room for the shot. Did that well. But just sent the shot high, and the bench believing that Shakeen Powell's ability demanded that you do better with that effort.
Not necessarily the player you would want to get this opportunity on the edge of the 18, Powell, known more for his defensive midfield abilities. And yeah, that was always going up. Hasn't scored in the season thus far. And that one wasn't close enough, but good to see Dunbeholden getting that link-up play going, the short 5-10 yard passes, which is what they're known for.
Ball came off Clennon's chest, says the assistant. Pews have been told to back up and not steal any yards before the throw. That Dunbeholden chance came from a rather hit and hope cross from Pusey, which somehow Bygrave took down with a very good first touch. And then the play developed for Powell. But yeah, Chris, right, the wrong man on the end of that finish. Into the 10th minute. The sun has gone behind a thick cloud. Conditions not oppressive. Nice wind here at Sabina Park. Verbal pops this into the box. Clennon with the header, and the judge to have fouled his defender, disagreeing with referee Mason. Referee Mason now has a word with Andre Clennon. Tell him calm. I'm in charge. You heard him warn both captains about the expletives early. Yeah, he muscled McCarthy out of the way. Shoulder to back. It's amazing how many times players go shoulder to back on an opponent and tells the referee that it was shoulder to shoulder. I'm wondering if they've forgotten their anatomy classes, the lessons. Shoulder to back is not shoulder to shoulder. That was clear shoulder to back. That's why the referee said free kick. I really hope Christian and McCarthy especially have good games today, whatever the result, because the national senior coach is here and would want to be playing well in front of Paul Hall so he can see what they have to offer. McCarthy away from Paisley, walked away from him. This is Pusey now. McGregor comes short side but ignored for the moment. Ooh. McCarthy's pass struck Powell, intending for Burton on that far side. Here's a running man, Dallas. Mario Phillips got there ahead of Vishnu Harris. Dallas once again. Still running man Dallas. Needs a pass now, Shamari Dallas. Tries to find Clennon. It wasn't a bad pass, but he couldn't take it in his stride, or maybe the pass had a little bit more, well, too much oomph on it.
Yeah, too hard, Dallas. Great run by him, weaving his way in and out. And the idea was right for Clennon, but he just needed a gentle touch, and too much of a toe punch there. It was rough for Clennon. Had he even controlled that, just the pace of it alone would have given him too much work.
Here's Paul Hall. Found fame with 22 other men as part of the Reggae Boys squad 1998, Jamaica's history-making team, first from the English-speaking Caribbean to scale those heights. And a thoroughly decent chap, along with the top football man, Paul Hall. He's in charge of the national team now, senior team. Lewis battling away. Heights past to Clennon, Clennon back to Lewis. Didn't see a pass, he liked Lewis and decided to continue the dribble. Good turn by Paisley, good strength. Goes down on the edge of the box. Referee Mason says free kick.
Double team Paisley, but you see what he brings to this team. He adds width, he adds connectivity. Paisley, energy. As you said, strong on the ball, bit of skill as well. You see the step overs there, and yeah, there was a touch by Dyer. Finesse, not necessarily his best attribute. Shamari Dyer.
Hyatt wants a two-man wall. As the super veteran Xavier Verga, 36 years old, prepares to deliver this. He may go for goal from here, Xavier Verga, or he may try to find Clennon. He goes for the back post, went for the back post at least. But that wasn't one of his better efforts. He acknowledges that he blundered and he apologizes as he runs back. Here's his coach, still applauding the veteran for his effort, and says, keep it going.
He swung his neck so far back, his head so far back, he nearly got a crick neck enterprise. So applauding, yes, but very disappointed with that effort. And yeah, wrong decision by Virgo.
Truthfully, the game lacking a little tempo, it must be said. And that's why I was stressing the conditions, in case you were wondering, at home viewers, why the tempo was absent. Petrie grabs at the feet of Bygrave. So the conditions are good for the tempo to be much higher than we are experiencing. Both teams just feeding their way into the game, even in this point, at this point, 15th minute. Instructions from the Dunbeholden supporters to knock the ball around, knock her around, we're saying. But they didn't tell Duar to do that, knock it out of play. Very upset because he didn't see a pass that was to his liking, and he went to make a difficult pass and ended up giving the ball away.
Yeah.
Murray going route one, trying to find Clennon. Comes back to him now, Clennon. Into the path of Harris, can take it down first time. Harris attempted to go across the 18-yard box, blocked by Pusey. Still Harris battling away. Losing out to McCarthy, and then fouling McCarthy in the process.
Good officiating by Christopher Mason as well, just allowing the game to flow a bit, seeing if there was an advantage, and when it was lost, call it back for McCarthy. Yeah, Dunbeholden not really settling down just yet, but as I said, George, not a big fan of the formation as it is. And,
yeah.
And if you remember the last game when Nicoy Christian had those 2 assists, he was allowed at that point during the game to come within the central regions, and that's where
he provided the assist.
Yes, because that team that you mentioned, the McCarthy Christian team in the midfield, that then happened.
Yeah.
With him playing wide, it's very difficult for that kind of chemistry.
Phillips whips the ball in, and Moody instructed to let it run outside for a goal kick. Here's Bigger Thompson, 2-time Premier League winning captain, and has been making a name for himself as a coach at Humberland. Left Arnett Gardens for Humberland, left initially to play, but then said, you know what, these injuries have taken their toll. and best served helping the players to play rather than playing myself. Another bad decision by Duar, and he's upset with his teammates. They're saying you gave the ball away. Duar not in a good moment in the back for Dunbeholden.
Not the kind of service so far for Bygrave and McGregor that they will be wanting. Discontinuity in the midfield for Dunbeholden at the moment. And the key players within the midfield just not on the ball enough, just not getting that chemistry going. And yeah, frustrating the back line as well. So it has forced Dyer and Duar to go long a lot of the times, and the passes have been misplaced. That's not their style of football, Dunbeholden.
Phillips trying to find Pewes. He does so. Under pressure. Back to his captain. Rowan Richards closing down Shaquem Powell rather well. And they've robbed Powell. Clipped to Dallas by Paisley. And Burton coming back to his goalkeeper. And a very, very ugly attempt at a clearance by Damien Hyatt. Luckily for him, he wasn't in front of his goal. Would have been a back pass, so that's why he didn't try to catch it. And look at this, a fresh year swipe. Just taking a piece of his leg, and that's why it's a corner.
Yeah, it's been a good start by Humberland. Just closing down the usual spaces for Dunbeholden as well. Pressing high Humberland, which is where they've been guilty some of the parts of the season. Yeah, in their third they have defended well, but part of what Andrew Price wants to see is them defending high as well, pressing, closing down the spaces so that they can attack in high areas. So they have been doing a good job of that, and that was more of a frustrating clearance for Hyatt. You could see the look on his face that he just wasn't happy with how his team has been playing.
Phillips. Back to Christian. Goes for the switch to McGregor. That's a good ball, you know. The goalkeeper interested, and Petrie runs out and catches it, and Chris giving that the thumbs up. More of what he wants to see.
Still a long pass, but one that Christian is known for as well. Has those 30-40 yard passes and very accurate as well. But yeah, I like the fact that both himself and Phillips were getting something going. Just a little off key, as you said, for McGregor.
Petrie jarring his knee on landing. This is what happened. No contact from McGregor, and it was on landing that Petrie appears to have hurt himself. The assistant goalkeeper is being sent to limber up, so it may be a serious problem. And the reserve goalkeeper, did I say assistant goalkeeper? The reserve goalkeeper is getting ready. And
that be Taylor.
Yeah, referee Mason has sent the players to the sidelines to get refreshed. It's the 876 Springwater break. Yeah. 876 Springwater, uniquely Jamaican. And 876 Springwater sponsors the 2 water breaks that we are mandated to have in every game in this Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. So, all right, Chris, talk to me some more about the Dunbeholden thing, team now rather, because you're saying what can they do to get flowing as an attacking unit, because they haven't been flowing so far.
Yeah, they've been playing with the 4-2-3-1. They want 2 number 6s to sit in front of the backline 4. That has been Powell and McCarthy. Now that's generally how they have started out. But it forces then Nicoy Christian to play on the outside of the 3, which I don't think is advantageous to them. I would rather like to see them playing a 4-4-2. Maybe that 4 being a diamond with Nicoy Christian playing the top of the diamond, where he would be in an attacking midfield position where I think he's best. And then you just have Fabian McCarthy in front of the backline 4. I don't think you need 2 number 6s in that role then. I think McCarthy can do the job as well. And then you have Phillips, who is more natural as a wide player than Christian, because Phillips is willing to go down, and as you said, one of the best crossers in the Premiership. So he would do well, I think, in that outside role. And then of course the other side would see the likes of, well, I guess Powell wouldn't be suited for there, so that's when there would have to have been a change in terms of the starting lineup. Because certainly McGregor and Bygrave are 2 centre forwards, and McGregor is not a wide player in terms of how he plays, even though he is versatile. So Yeah, but they have stuck with their guns in terms of how they've generally started it. But I think it takes them a while sometimes to get into the games when they have Christian wide.
Let's see if there are any tactical adjustments coming out of this water break. So Lewis forward to Harris. The flick to the captain for the day, Murray. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Lewis fires the crossing, and it was, well, it hit Dyer. Didn't know much about it, the captain, but effective, using his body as a barrier. Powell to McGregor. This was black by Barnes. And Harris to Rohan Richards. Under pressure. Did well to keep it, Rohan Richards. Barnes back to his goalkeeper. Looks to the right again, Petrie.
Well, as I said, what is custom about this is that Humberland is a very difficult team to break down. As I said, undefeated in their last 5 matches.
Dallas with the cross. It's blocked by Dyer. And he raced there ahead of Clennon, and it looked to me like Dyer barged into Clennon and fell. But the referee agreeing with his assistant on the far side that Dyer was foul. Let's see. He again shoulder into back, so yeah, good call.
Played it well. Played it well, Dyer. I think he actually initiated the contact.
Yes,
Dyer.
he did. Yes, he did.
But yeah, Clennon a little bit too robust at times, and he is guilty of that, Andre Clennon. So reputation following him on that occasion, but I don't think there was much in that. I think Dyer, as you said, acted well.
McGregor on the sprint. Barnes recovered. For a moment there, looked as if he was second best in that foot race.
First 23 minutes, George, I've seen a lot more bubbles than I'm used to seeing on the Sabina Park pitch in terms of the ball coming off of the surface.
Yes.
And it does look a lot drier than we have seen over the last, this is what, the third week, the second week here?
Third,
second week, yeah. And just wonder if they're watering it enough. You mentioned the 876 water break. Maybe the field could do it some.
Yep.
It does look a bit drier than normal. And it's a bit hard, obviously, underneath.
Yep. Christian. Twice Harris has knocked the ball away from Christian. Here's Clennon on the sprint. Paisley giving him an option outside, but the ball is misplaced. It was a bad pass from Clennon to play in that position. And Dunbeholden can come again. They're building up a buzz around them, Dunbeholden. There are people talking about them, footballing people talking about them wherever you go. When people talk about the Premier League, they always ask about Dunbeholden and how real of a deal, if any at all, they are. So they're being marked in the same way that people mark the Waterhouses and Arnett Gardens, Mount Pleasant. Dunbeholden will become a marked team. And we get to the business end of this competition in the way that massed defensive ranks meet the big teams, similar to what will happen to Dunbeholden, you believe. A couple of their spectators giving them a lot of aggro, Dunbeholden, not liking what they're seeing. There's a particularly vociferous chap who doesn't need a microphone. I'm hearing everything he says from here, and he's several hundred meters away.
I'm sure the players are hearing him too.
Oh yes, sir.
They're disappointed with the quality of passing.
Oh yes.
Rightfully so. His argument is that Dunbeholden giving away the ball too much. No doubt who is a spectator for.
McCarthy got lucky with it. It was a heavy touch that found its way to Burton. Back to McCarthy. Clennon took that really well. But then the pass to Richards was bad. And I don't know why Clennon is upset with Richards. It was a bad pass. But he had a fair old strop after that pass went astray.
It was a bit off, but I think he's disappointed with Richards' effort. Yeah, and it really was a lazy effort by Richards.
Understood and agree with that. Yeah. Paisley. combining with Lewis to strip Phillips off the ball. You would imagine that Andrew Price would be the happier of the two coaches, Chris?
Yeah, I think so. I think Humberline have adjusted well. I think they have closed the lanes. They have frustrated Dunbeholden from their nice tiki-taka style football and forced them into incidents like this. You know, mistimed tackles and so on. Generally, Dunbeholden have the possession and have the ball right throughout in terms of their neat passing. It hasn't been that case. It hasn't been like that for them so far.
Dyer. Well, Dallas may have gotten some studs on the right ankle. Referee Mason having a word with Nicole Christian. You mentioned the surface earlier. We were talking about it off air. For the matches that I've done here at Sabina Park, and I would have done most. Oh yeah, just as he was about to go up,
yeah,
Burton stepped on his foot. I've never seen the sprinklers on here, and were it not for the fact that Sabina Park is a world-class cricket facility, I think that there weren't any here. But I know better, and I just want to know, why is it that the Jamaica Premier League, and I'm sure they pay good money to rent this facility, why is it that there are no sprinklers
being utilized?
Yes, it's mind-boggling, and it would help immensely with the quality of the surface that the players are contending with out there.
Especially considering you're playing 6 matches in 3 days.
Richards' free kick goes for goal, and a harm to the security guard walking behind Damon Hyatt's goal.
I agree with you, George. It does look a little bit yellow, as you could say, or brown in patches, which means that it obviously is not getting the... And there is a full irrigation system here, underground sprinklers, as you know. So it's just a wonder why it's not being utilized. And obviously, as I said, that has made it a bit dry and hard as well.
It is as dry as banana chips out there, and it ought not to be so. So the JPL should be asking questions. Why are we not getting the benefit of the water here?
Definitely, as I've always said, best surface in the country, but yeah, you need to maintain it, especially when it's getting full use like this. And it's great to see football being played here.
Phillips' pass for once astray between the retreating Burton and the Christian. Burton did well to keep it on the park. Christian over the top, looking for Phillips. Bygrave got there. McCarthy with the snapshot. Clear what he was trying to do, but the execution not the best.
Yeah.
And he recognizes that.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a slip pass to McGregor, actually.
May have
that
been,
just
may
didn't
have been.
go well. Serious faces there. Disappointed in the attempt so far of Dunbeholden. And as I said, going back to the surface, that is something that would work against Dunbeholden. You remember that loss at Drax Hall?
Their worst game of the season.
Yeah, easily.
Yep.
And because it was also the worst surface that the boys have played on all season as well.
Excellent by Christian with the fake to get rid of Murray. Needs a good pass, Christian. Finds Phillips. He let it run. And Pusey gathers. Powell now. Duar. Well, Christian into the box. The cross comes in, and the referee, goalkeeper Petcher rather. And again, seems to have another. So I'm limiting for a moment there. Looks to be steady now.
It's taken half an hour for Dunbeholden to put together a good build-up. That's the best build-up we've seen.
Yep.
It's amazing. 52%.
Dallas on the run once more. Clennon in the box waiting for the cross to come. And it's into the grateful arms of Damien Hart.
Milan, a team that generally will soak up pressure very well, as I said. They've only conceded 2 goals in 5 matches, undefeated in 5. So, yeah, they soak up pressure very well and then just look for their odd chance that they do create.
Excellent steal by Murray. Clennon to Paisley. Paisley on the run. Paisley's first touch isn't good enough. And he falls looking for relief from the referee. Referee Mason ignores him. Ball into the path of McGregor. He gets there. Oh, he went there. The goalkeeper took a shot in the head. McGregor kept it alive. Bygrave! It misses. That was a chance for Dunbeholden. Meanwhile, the Humberland bench incandescent with rage at the failure of the assistant on this near side to signal a foul on their goalkeeper. They felt McGregor kicked their goalkeeper. And I'm not sure there was a foul there. I don't know what the striker was supposed to have done. He had a right to go for the ball, I'm saying.
Initially, I thought he went with the head. Let's see here. Well, this was a chance at the other end. I think that's a strong defending by Pusey. We'd have to see from before then, but that was the attempt by Bygrave, which had to wrap his foot around it. The ball was actually behind him. Not the easiest of finishes for Bygrave. But yeah, maybe a man in his form, you would probably expect him to have.
Yeah, I expected him to score.
It's not easy, but yeah, the incident with the goalkeeper, it would be interesting to see whether McGregor went with the head. I think he went for with the head initially.
This is the play.
Let's see it here. He goes with it. It is a bit of a high foot.
But he pulled out.
He did pull out, but the foot was high. The foot was high. The foot was high. The foot was high. He did pull out, but the foot was already high, so it forced the goalkeeper to pull away.
Evasive action,
yeah. Evasive action, yes.
Well, all's well that ends well, because I can tell you, if that had scored, the Humble Lion bench, I don't know what they would have done. Because both Price and Thompson were leading an inquisition, an angry mob marching in the direction of the assistant. They didn't get too far though, but yeah, they were very menacing.
That play though was far away from the assistant. They're asking for the first assistant to make that call. It was on the opposite side of the field. That had to have been referee Mason to make that call.
He couldn't have seen that, yeah.
Yeah, I think. Not sure he had the best visual. And that was Damian Williams, first assistant.
Christian instructed by the man in the crowd to use the ball. I miss the fans, I must tell you. Virgo trying to connect with Hyde.
That's a tough pass by Clennon. They were asking a lot of Virgo there. It's a little bit more finesse in the pass in Clennon.
I tell you what, we've gotten a better game since that water break in the 19th minute. So we should be grateful, I'm telling you. McCarthy robbing Richards. McGregor.
His touch is silky smooth. McGregor has been really good. He's been a partner that Bygrave has been waiting on.
Wins it from Clennon. McGregor. Phillips. Oh, Gregory Lewis. Excellent. But he's paid the price for using his head to stop that firm pass. And flattened for the minute.
Bigger Thompson and Andrew Price very unhappy, not only with the call, but the fact that Humble Lion have been giving up the ball so much. You know, there's a no-nonsense attitude with them on their defense line. No surprise, because they were two astute defenders in their time.
Yep.
Yeah, part of the reason why it's only been 2 goals in 5 matches, and they're so hard to penetrate.
Yeah, as I noted earlier, last season Veer was a team nobody wanted to play against because it was hard to score against them. Humble Lion is that team this season. Very, very miserly in defence.
Good at getting draws. What we call them, the Burnley of the JPL.
You could call them that. Bad decision by Bygrave to let that ball fall. Didn't anticipate how much speed it would have picked up off the turf. And couldn't chase it down before it ran into touch. Haven't seen much of Vishnu Harris in this game.
Step, no.
McCarthy. Infringement, handball. Oh, there you go. So 36th minute here. That's Gregory Lewis. Head still spinning from.
He's been in the wars.
Yeah, getting on today. A firm pass that he blocked and which caused him to go down. Looks as if he's still shaking cobwebs. Virgo, route 1. Clennon's flick on. Well, it was a flick wide. It should have been a flick behind for Dallas, who had to go wide to retrieve. McCarthy backing Rowan Richards and the stronger man, McCarthy. Ball in for McGregor, but it drifts into touch. So there's McCarthy, 31 years old. Told me earlier this season that his ambition this season is to pull back on those national colours. He really wants to do that. Not in the squad this time. There's a lot of football left to we played this season, giving him the opportunity to so do. Here come Dunbeholden. They've stepped on the gas with this attack. Pusey. Forward to Phillips. Intelligent run, is offside. Very good line held by the Humberland defense. Sometimes we don't credit the defenders for the way they played that. It wasn't accidental that he strayed offside. It was because of the disciplined line that the defenders held.
Yeah, well drilled the Humberland defense. And Phillips, a little bit upset that there was a delay by Pusey. Had he played that initially, Phillips would have been onside, and with Phillips' speed, you have to back that.
You can understand Pusey though, because Bygrave had pulled short to his wide on the touchline, and he was thought of giving his top scorer and then thought better of it. Here's Dallas running onto this pass, and Dewar after him very quickly and closing down the space and clearing into touch.
Since Dewar has come into partner Dyer in the defense line, they have been pretty solid. Dunbeholden, they have had some shifts in their starting lineup. There was McPherson at a time. There was Dice as well. But yeah, these two are really getting the job done for Dunbeholden. Still do concede, but the understanding is there. It's a strong partnership.
Lewis with the left-footed shot. Didn't get much on it as the Swallows have descended on us here at Sabina Park, flying around. Were it darker, I'd say rat bats, but they are indeed swallows. We aren't that far from Swallowfield, aren't we?
We're not far from the rain either.
There you go. Telltale right sign. Yeah. Telltale sign. When you see the swallows come out, you know that the rain is upon us. That is hunting down Christian. Excellent from the midfield man. Very good play. Is it long enough for Burton? Oh, Murray just got there. Otherwise, Burton would have been in down that left-hand side. And Harold Thomas getting upset at his boys now. Just see him remonstrating with the men in blue and white.
Well, if we do get the rain, it will be good for the surface, for sure. And I'm sure it might even be here before the half. But if not, it will be there soon after.
Well, there's our water. Murray losing out to Phillips. Well, Harris it was who was defending.
Not often you see that.
Yeah, in a right back position. Well, he did play central defense. He played defensive midfield, and he was man of the match one game. It was a Sunday game at the UJFF Captain Harrisburg. As you see, Merron Gordon and Paul Hall engaged in deep conversation. Merron Gordon in the, well, Paul Hall is wearing the mask. Merron's mask is his chin strap. Phillips, Christian, in the direction of Bygrave, off the chest, needs support though, the big man. Pusey, his effort blocked by Gregory Lewis, and a sprint between Paisley and McCarthy. Paisley saves it for McCarthy. Pusey now. Powell, the customer rhythm, the passing rhythm, as Chris said, the tiki-taka that you will usually associate with Dunbeholden, missing for large parts of this first half. It's only been made a fleeting appearance. And they're not on their game so far, these Slick St. Catherine boys. Excellent by Clennon. Into the path of Dallas now. Sent too wide though with the pass. Trying to change gear and pass Dewar, but lovely defending from Dewar. Finish that off with an excellent pass to Peter McGregor. Good turn under pressure. Goes down. Gregory Lewis fouling him. Good call by referee Mason.
Lovely first touch by McGregor. Oh, his touch is really good, McGregor. Coming into this team in the last game, yeah, that was probably a good foul by Lewis, actually. Well, cynical.
Guess what? We make fun of players with bad first touches like Romelu Lukaku, aka Ruddy. That's what the SportsMax people call him. But this man, excellent first touch. Bygrave's touch also very good. Warner Brown. I think Warner Brown may have the best touch of a front man. When he takes it, Chris, and turns, it's just neat, efficient, and it's really something to behold. So there are a couple forwards in this JPL whose first touches, especially under pressure, very, very good.
They're being noticed.
Yes, they are.
As you said, Bygrave in the national team. Warner Brown, not sure how long he'll be with us in the Premier League. Maybe an opportunity overseas. Great to see. McGregor was overseas. He's now back. So people are seeing these things. The talents of our local footballers and be displayed here in the Premier League.
Good run, driving run by McCarthy. And Virgo, he can't believe the referee flagged him for a sin. He says, referee, why I'm the one sinned against. He felt it was a clean tackle. And look at Virgo. Let's see this, Chris. Got ball, but got some of
the follow
McGregor's
through.
leg.
The
Yes,
follow
he did.
through.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
and the
did.
studs were exposed
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
But there was a foul on McCarthy, and I think that's what referee Mason is saying, that he tried to play the advantage with McGregor, but there was none. But
Yeah.
definitely it was a foul on McCarthy. In
Yeah.
fact, that was a nasty challenge.
Visual Harris on the ankle.
Yeah, that
Pure
could have been a yellow
studs.
card.
Yes, it could have been. So McCarthy will be feeling that.
Yeah, this is the most advanced we've seen McCarthy in quite a while.
Yeah.
McCarthy really driving into the box. He's a versatile midfielder, Fabian McCarthy. He has 22 goals in his Premier League career, so he can score.
This is Christian. Over the top looking for the back post, but Petrie doesn't handle well. Butterfingered goalkeeping. And luckily for him, his mishandling helped to take it behind for a corner.
Still might have been too high for the two players approaching at the back post, but yeah, luckily for Petrie.
Phillips's corner whipped in. And Petrie better handling with Duar behind him. Not Phillips's best delivery. He's much better than that. And the goalkeeper asks a lot of Clennon, who doesn't have that speed anymore. Petrie's the only man in Sabina Park who doesn't know that Clennon no longer has that pace. A suicide mission to ask him to keep that ball in.
Yeah. And that was delivered by Phillips. Just too much hang time on it. And way too close. It started too close to the keeper initially from Phillips. With his bend, he should have been starting at maybe outside the 18-yard box and allowing it to get to the penalty spot eventually.
Doesn't get many wrong, we must say, Demario Phillips
Agreed.
from dead ball delivery, but that one was wrong. Here's the impressive Peter McGregor. Roly-poly and trying to get away from Shane Barnes, but lost his footing. Andrew Price applauding his defender for the pressure that he exerted in that situation. Here's Barnes once again. Virgo. Shane Barnes, 19 years old. There are some big 19-year-old lads on this pitch. Peter McGregor is 21. I had to double check. Producer says he expects 2 minutes of time to be added on at the end of the 45, and I look at the fourth officials board and I see 2. So the fourth producer is right. Ramon Stewart. Lewis forward to Dallas. It's not a good pass.
Yeah, that's the part that they don't do well, the transition play, the quality of the passing. So very narrow defensively, they cover well, their communication good at the back on the line, hence they don't concede many. But then moving forward, the reason why they have struggled to score is that the passing quality, even when the ball gets to Clennon, he holds it up well. But after that,
Bygrave. Still Bygrave working the shooting opportunity for Nicole Christian. The goalkeeper came, didn't get there, but it deflected off his leg. Clennon offside.
that was a beautiful move by Dunbeholden. What vision from Atafaroy Bygrave. Yes, he has a clinical ability and strength about him. Look at this play. Eyes in the side of his head, Bygrave. Oh, that was a lovely setup play for Christian. And maybe if he was a bit braver, he might have gotten in there, Christian. Look at this from Bygrave. Great skill here. Oh, that was a lovely pass into the space. And Christian, really a kick and miss. But as I said, I think he was conscious of the fact that Petrie was there.
Christian did very well to get on the end of that pass because the sequence started with him inside his own half and he busted along to get there.
Christian in central positions, things are always going to happen for Dunbeholden.
That's where he's been playing since the water break.
Yeah.
So Dunbeholden have looked more like themselves, even though not quite there yet. This is Pusey in a wide position for them. Can he produce the good cross? No, is the answer.
What has also happened is that Powell has been asked to sit and McCarthy has pushed up as well with Christian. So that experience in the middle, bearing, well, looking better. It hasn't borne any fruit yet.
Yeah, Lewis wanted to go expansive to Dallas, but he went short to his captain for the day more. Now Richards. Richards is passing is poor once again, gives it away to Burton. Now McGregor. McCarthy's pass is picked off. Murray. Trying to find Lewis off the chest. And Dyer cleared under pressure from Clennon. McGregor losing out to Visional Harris, and Mason judging that he was fouled.
Yeah, they forced Visional to play more defensive now, so he's had to sit deep, Visional Harris. Didn't really position his body that well, and I think that's why he gave away the free kick to McGregor. Well seen by referee Mason, who's had a good game.
And that's it. He's seen enough of the first half, Christopher Mason. Stalemate here at the Sabina Park in this JPL Match Week 10 clash between Dunbeholden and Humberland. It was a slow burner. Not that it ever really caught fire at any point, but Dunbeholden will believe that they can play much better than this. Humberland will be happy that their sheet is clean, and they'll believe that, like they've done so many times this season so far, they can pinch something in the second half. We break with a score at 0-0 at the interval between Dunbeholden from St. Catherine and Humberland from Clarendon. Back with us at Sabina Park, Match Week 10 of the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. Dunbeholden 0, Humberland 0. This game needs a bit of powering up itself. Let's tell you, or let's show you rather, what happened in the first half. The highlight packages a tap forward by Grave, fresh from his invitation to the national senior team. Pugh's cross finds McGregor. The header high and harmless. Acknowledging the quality of service, Peter McGregor. Another roll of that tape. And then Paisley with the corner. Visional Harris met it. Easy for Damien Hart. Hit and hope by Pugh. Look at this touch from Bygrave. Keeps it interesting. Very good touch. Lays it off to Powell. Powell's shot falling away. Not his forte, scoring goals. And he didn't get good connection there. Then Paisley played through by Clennon. Muscled off the ball. Felt he was falling immediately from that. The ball over the top from McGregor. Went in with his feet. The goalkeeper says he was kicked. Finds Bygrave with the pass, and Bygrave can't wrap his foot around it to steer it goalwards. don't even think he caught the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper says he was touched. The referee had a very close view, and he didn't feel the goalkeeper was fouled at all. So if Bygrave had found the net, the goal would have stood. 8 shots overall, none on target for Dunbeholden, 1 for Humberland. That was from the Bishop and Harris header. 14 fouls, an even split. 1 offside call, that was against Humberland. 3 corners, 2 for Humberland. 1 save made by the Dunbeholden goalkeeper, and Dunbeholden had 56% possession in the first half. Let's recap the games, well, recap the action from the 2 games on Sunday.
And a couple of good goalkeeping moments as well. Pearson, the schoolboy, with a free kick and the header down. Akil Clark has a very easy job there. Good work here by Kenroy Campbell, setting himself up for the left-footed strike, but is off target with the effort. Now it's Doxley, I think, with a right-footed effort as well. Easily handled. Another strike on goal here, but the deflection takes the ball behind for a corner. Cavalier had a lot of the offensive play here, had the Mount Pleasant defenders working overtime, and their goalkeeper as well. Some moments here for Mount Pleasant as well. A searing shot there from Alwyn Harvey, easily blocked by Vino Bartlett in the Cavalier goal, even though he wasn't able to hold it cleanly. Ball crossed inside and Bartlett gets in the way as well. Great delivery here from Sikri, but on the near post, Alan Otte's effort is only good for the side netting. Here's the highlight reel. Montego Bay United, and Priestley with a left-footed free kick off target. Robinson has pace here, goes for the cross inside, and an outstanding save there from Burton, or man of the match. Here comes West here for Montego Bay United. And again, the Harbourview defenders scrambling the ball away as Courtney Allen had gone close on that occasion. Robinson breaks free here. His left-footed strike powerfully blocked by Burton. Colorado Murray arrives very late here, and from point-blank range, not able to turn this one in on goal. Here's Priestley again. Fine strike by Priestley, but too much curve on it, and it curves away from the goal. Trayvon Reed between the legs of the defender slides the ball forward here for Nicholas Hamilton, who again is denied by the outstanding Burton, who was really tremendous this afternoon in goal for Montego Bay United. Amal Knight diving to his near post. Reed there going for goal, and there's Jimenez with a strike from 35 yards out, and Burton tipping that one over. It was the 17-year-old's first assignment in the game. He had just come on as a substitute, and denied there by Devon.
The NBA on SportsMax, the Knicks and the Hawks, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. in Jamaica. SportsMax. The Nuggets and the Clippers, Tuesday, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. outside Jamaica. SportsMax again. And then the Bulls and the Bucks, 8 p.m. outside Jamaica. SportsMax 2 on Tuesday. Live. The NBA living as it does on the home of champions. So back to live pictures here at Sabina Park. The shadows will lengthen not too long from now. The threat of rain has abated, and Bygrave, fresh from his call up to the national senior team, good touch there, setting up Shaquille Powell for this shot. Ball over the top to McGregor, who will find Bygrave. Just saw Virgo looking for where the big man was. He got there, but the shot not accurate. And Christian over the top once again. The chest trap. Look at this. Hit it off for Pusey, and then connecting with McCarthy, and then slipping Christian through, but the goalkeeper had arrived very early to put Christian off, as we saw Paul Hall and Meron Gordon, national senior coach, and his assistant here at the game today to look at potential recruits. Do you imagine they would have seen many things that they liked, Chris?
Yeah, I think the touches. I think the link-up play between both McGregor and Bygrave has been good as well. So yeah, as you said, the first touches, being able to set up each other, set up teammates as well. Not many opportunities for them, but when the ball has come to them, they've looked positive. Obviously, the confidence is very high from Bygrave, and you know, I love that build-up with himself and Christian, and that slip pass inside. But yeah, just the fact that even that ball over the top where McGregor, well, we thought committed the infringement, just the fact that his awareness, Bygrave was not an easy pass to find, and yet he still got that reverse pass into Bygrave. Yeah, Bygrave missed the finish, but that was impressive from young McGregor. That falling away off the field from a wide area, he was able to pick out his strike partner, and that's really a good sign for Dunbeholden, the chemistry between the two front men. And it's only been, what, 1.5 games?
Yeah, the majority of the Dunbeholden players were out on the park in their positions, but Bygrave and Powell, well, Phillips, were the ones who were getting tactical instructions from Harold Thomas, detailed instructions through all of that. I was keeping my eye on them, and perhaps we'll see a change of approach by the boys in blue and white. Anyway, it's 0-0. As we were at the start, we are at the start of the second half, and Humberland get us underway. Only 4 goals scored in the previous 4 games completed in this match week 10. We're on course to have our lowest goal return of any match week in this second season of the JPL. Powell, all aimed for Bygrave, but cut off by Xavier and Virgo. McCarthy turning away, saying, well, that couldn't have been for me with so much power on it. Excellent ball played by Christian into the path of Phillips, and but for the intervention of Petrie, Phillips would have been in. Here's Pusey now for Dunbeholden. Right on the front foot they are. Fresh ear swipe by Bygrave. May have gotten just a piece of it, and Christian setting up the cross. Under pressure from Dallas. Getting the sympathy call from the referee. Quick restart by Christian. Sneaky Burton spears this one in. And between Virgo and Barnes, it wasn't clever defending, it wasn't the best, but they've turned it behind for a corner.
They worked it out. I guess that's the important thing. Lovely pass this by Christian though, over the top, and Phillips was looking for it. That's good goalkeeping by Petrie. Keeping his eye on it right throughout. It would have been a nice opportunity for Phillips to head on target. But yeah, good start by Dunbeholden. As I said, Petrie, hands been a bit greasy at times, but he's been effective.
Clennon helps his goalkeeper. Back to the corner taker though. Showing the versatility Christian, this time with the left foot, and Clennon clears it up. Near post. It's another corner for Dunbeholden, who are right on the front foot to start the second half.
Clinton bailed him out. That was actually a poor cross by Christian, and probably would have been easy for Petrie, but Clinton, obviously the communication not there.
Near post again, this time cleared by Harris.
No surprise that the man chasing it was Dallas.
Yes,
he
sir.
never gets tired.
Christopher Mason, or referee rather, you've been impressed with how he's managed the game so far?
Yeah, I've been impressed with him all season. George, one of the young upcoming referees, and I think he's managed the games that he's been in charge of very well. He'd have an incident when he was a fourth official that probably might have gone against him, but in the middle, he's been excellent.
Yeah, Dewar with the shot blocked by Barnes. The centre half had found himself in unfamiliar territory. This is Christian. Shapes the shoot on his right foot, back to Bygrave on the left. Bygrave! Near post, he's offside.
Nice build up again. Christian causing all kinds of problems. This time he's on the left. And just dropping the left shoulder, cutting inside, and then the reverse pass to Bygrave. It was a good idea. The slight delay sent Atafaroy offside. I agree with Bygrave as well. I think initially he was looking to put the ball across the box and then said, well, let me try and get out the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It was a strong strike to the near post. Confidence is everything for a striker.
Bygrave full of it right now. So Christian, when he was coming into the park, and I hailed him as Father Grumpy, and he saw the funny side. He hasn't had to remonstrate with his teammates that often so far in this game. So we're into the 50th minute of this contest. The game needing a goal. If Humble Lions score, then they look to hold what they have. As we saw Clennon there going in hard on Burton. Referee Mason seeing that and calling the play back.
Clennon again a little bit too robust. He accepts it though from Mason. That's another part that impresses me with Mason, just the fact that the respect that the players show him, even though he's a young official in the business compared to some of the others. His management skills, Mason, player management, very important.
Paisley thinks about a shot! And for a moment, Damon Hart was interested and then realized it was going well wide of his far post, had his angles measured and pulled out of the attempt to intervene.
We haven't seen many shots, so you have to get excited when you see one for sure. And Paisley, one of the impressive players coming into the lineup for Humble Lion over the last 2 games. Good to see that he's still around in the second half.
McCarthy to Pusey. The Dunbeholden coach in the stands, still at it. Punch by Petrie would have been easier to catch it, but only he would know why he went for the punch. This is Rowan Richards for Humble Lion. Can't break away from the combination of Phillips and McCarthy because he's fouled, says referee Mason.
Yeah, still a bit of a frustration for Dunbeholden. I would like to see Powell being sacrificed, as we spoke about it earlier. George, you have to be brave. You want to win the Premier League. You can't just say, well, you want to sit with 2 number 6s because you've been conceding goals. And I think getting Christian in the central position and maybe putting Phillips wide and bringing on another wide player and sacrificing Powell is the way to go.
I tell you what, 2 wide players are warming up. Kimoni Bailey and Zelana Barnes are going through a rather lively warm-up. Looks as if they're going to be introduced around about the hour mark.
Yeah, certainly
so
agree
you
with
may
that.
just get your wishes there.
And with Barnes' experience and his goal-scoring ability, I would prefer him.
Phillips trying to play Bygrave, and this is the worst passing game I've seen the Mario Phillips have this season in the Premier League. Usually passing is very much on point. It's not happening today.
Yeah, he's been off.
And of all the days to be off when the national senior coach is here. Yeah, the scripts in life, you don't know which one you're going to get. There are the men we spoke about, joined by McPherson as well. So McPherson, Bailey and Barnes warming up for the boys from St. Catherine.
Let's see how brave Harold Thomas and Ricardo Smith-Ardo. Were they willing to adjust from the 4-2-3-1 to the 4-4-2?
Well,
and play in a diamond.
Smith did tell you before the game that these are the games they have to win if they're serious about challenging for the Premier League title. So let's see if that desire to win translates into the kind of risk that will give the reward of 3 points this afternoon. It's a kind of pass Phillips doesn't usually misplace, and to see him misplace, that tells you the kind of passing game that he's had so far this afternoon. Just not on Mario Phillips. Harris under pressure. Gets away from 2 challenges. Tried to play Clennon, a good block in midfield by Powell and Christian. Into the direction of McGregor. Peter McGregor gets there before the goalkeeper once again, but Xavier Virgo is there to mop up.
Yeah, it was a good pass by Christian. I blame McGregor on this occasion. I think he turned his back on the play, young Peter McGregor, and by the time he turned around, as you know, it takes your eyes a while to settle after spinning around, and yeah, he was us off in terms of his radar, allowed the ball to bounce, and then the chance was gone.
Christian, adjudged to have committed the foul with the hand in the face of Clennon as he was trying to shield the ball. And that's why Humberland got this free kick. Richards against Duar. Lewis, well, Paisley into Clennon, allowed it to run. And now Burton has to get there before Dallas, hunting him down, Dallas. And he runs out for a Dunbeholden throw. Christian still pleading his case with the referee. And referee Mason really disagreeing there, both men. And we just got a blast of the Priceophone as we look at this chance of Peter McGregor. Just got there before the goalkeeper, and Xavier Virgo's positioning well.
Yeah, he had to take that before it bounced though. Once it bounced, it was always going to favour Petrie in the goal. And as I said, just guilty of turning his back at the early instance.
Christian McGregor, Virgo just got there before McGregor. Very strong from McGregor though, beats Paisley in that shoulder to shoulder. This is Pusey, needs a good cross from him. Bygrave! And the ball was for a moment as if it was running loose, and just for a moment he threatened to get something on it.
Well, he did control it, George. He did an excellent job of controlling the ball by Bygrave. It was a wonderful first touch, but good defending by Humberland, must be said. They were very aware in that back line. Look at this for a touch. That was an excellent first touch by Bygrave, but yeah, crowded out. Virgo did well. Look at this. With the right foot here. Oh, that was beautiful from Bygrave. And because of the change of body weight, I think that forced him to have to stretch into the play. But yeah, from a striker's perspective, that was an excellent take and turn. But as I said, good defending once again by Humberland.
We've spoken a lot about the quality of touch of some of the big men in this league under pressure, and here you got another example, viewers. McGregor. Phillips. Phillips goes big, trying to pick Bygrave out, and Petrie got there. May have hurt his defender in the process, but that can be sorted out later. Vital interception by the goalkeeper.
Is that Murray, the captain? Of course, with the injury to Vanzi, who is a club captain. Well, yeah, broke his leg, Vanzi, 2 games ago, so he's out. And Murray, standing captain. Ooh, so it's tough. Luckily for him,
point blank range. Pusey misses it, and the Dunbeholden fans can't believe point blank range. He timed his approach to perfection, but the connection just not good enough, and Cleon Pusey misses Dunbeholden's best chance of the game. This is Christian's cross once again, and look at Pusey arrive. McGregor got an arm in the throat, and Pusey couldn't have asked for a better opportunity. It would have been better if the goalkeeper had saved it. But to miss the frame entirely, very disappointing.
Good build-up yet again. That hand in the face, very interesting there. They made sure that McGregor couldn't jump for the ball. It was heading to him initially.
Get the sense that Christian is hitting, finding his best stride, is getting into gear because he's been firing in some good passes, high and low. All to Bygrave. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Barnes may not have been brave enough in going across to intercept, but it's back to Christian now. Away from Dallas and gives Dallas the steer. Dallas gives him a little friendly pat and it's all good. It's a competitive sport.
This is his time in the game, Nicoy Christian. Around this time was when he created those wonderful opportunities in the last game as well. Coming to life.
Five white shirts in the box and Shaquem Powell has 6th on the fringes of it. It's whipped in by Christian. It's met by a humble iron head. Gregory Lewis clears to Dallas. Back to Richards. Out to Dallas. Needs a good pass. Finds Richards. Richards around Dyer. Still Rowan Richards. It needs a good cross. It's just feathered in. And Dewar was tracking back very well. The defender, based on his positioning, excellent pass by Powell. And Christian calls the ball to him. Brought down by Clennon and right in front of the referee. The Dunbeholden bench want a card. And yeah, Christopher Mason will oblige Andre Clennon, the first name into the book this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think that's for repeat offences, Andre Clennon. I do think Nicoy Christian held up the play too long though, George. He needed to play the pass earlier.
Well, number 7 is coming in, Zelana Barnes, and just like you called it, Shaquem Powell is coming out. So they don't think they need an extra defensive midfielder when they're pushing for the win. An attacker comes out to replace him.
Yeah, I think that's a big move. Good move by the Dunbeholden staff. I think that's the way to go. Got to be brave. As you say, Humble Lions not really giving anything at the attacking end. They're just looking to survive.
This is Burton. Can he find the cross? It goes back to the general, Nicoy Christian. Not the best cross from him with the weaker left foot. Petrie keeps it in. It's Cumberland ball.
What's amazing about the switch though is that Zelana Barnes has been asked to play in that central role. So it's not really a change of formation, just a change of personnel. Christian still wide. I mean, Barnes is able to play in many positions, but I thought they would have added some width.
Christian doing the foul this time, grabbing the jersey of Gregory Lewis after he was crowded out by the combination of Clennon and Lewis. So the Humberline players wise to the danger posed by Nicoy Christian and trying to get to him early, to tackle him early, as we look at the fans in the stands enjoying themselves and barking instructions at the players. A football fan is at his or her happiest when they're telling the players on the field what to do, even if they've never been at their level to do similar things. Lewis's free kick met by Dewar, cleared further by McCarthy. Bygrave won it in the air and is sent running by Phillips' pass, but Virgo, he had read the situation, so he had made moves to go into that sector. That's why he could beat Bygrave in that race to the ball.
Yeah, transition taking a little bit too long though for Dunbeholden. As soon as you get that ball out, transition needs to be a lot quicker. You need to be the team to press and get numbers forward. Bygrave had no help, and so the pass was overcooked in the end.
Zelana Barnes looks at least a stone lighter than when we first saw him this season. And we'll hope that with improved fitness, he can enhance his chances of starting in this Dunbeholden team on a consistent basis. This is Phillips. Dunbeholden pressing. They've been the only team playing football in the second half, as Humberline have looked to contain them and strike on the break. Dunbeholden have gone full frontal. Phillips whips this one in, and at the near post with McGregor lurking, Xavier and Virgo's interception. How vital was that?
Good defending yet again, vital. And as I said, the concentration has been good so far for Humble Lion. Dunbeholden asking a lot of questions. They've brought on a creative midfielder as well to aid with the passing. But yeah, can they concentrate for 90 minutes, Humble Lion?
Phillips with the corner. Another poor one from it. Went out of play and then bending back in.
He's not had a good game at all, Phillips.
By his standards, nope.
This is the kind of game where you say, well, yeah, Phillips is normally a man based on his work rate that you'd want on the park, but he's just not having a good game. Do you sacrifice him and say, well, let me give another player an opportunity?
There's the West Indies cricketer Shane Thomas in the red jersey. Just saw him doing a yo-yo test with the other members of the Jamaica Scorpions team.
Yeah.
They were here early before the game started, going through their paces. And of course, all eyes were on Big O'Shane to see how well he was sprinting, if he was moving fluently. I heard several theories from the armchair doctors across this part. I won't repeat what they said as McGregor is fouled, knocked over by Dallas. That no attempt to play the ball, Shamari Dallas. And he ended McGregor's sprint early. Walks away to try to save himself, Dallas, but referee Mason is hunting him down and has booked him. Second name into the book, both for Humble Lion players. Andre Clennon carded before him, and now Dallas joins him in the yellow card corner. Yeah, just no attempt to get the ball. Realized McGregor was running away from him.
This would actually suit a left footer's delivery if you're going for goal, but I guess it's actually being carried back, so in some way out. Probably Phillips will look to whip this in, but his deliveries just haven't been good so far this afternoon, George. Do you still ask him to do the job there?
Players like him were usually 7.5 out of 10. You keep them and hope that they produce a moment of quality because you know he has it in him. So I guess that's what Harold Thomas would probably say. But yeah, we are agreed that today has been his most ordinary showing. Well, his only ordinary showing of all the games we've seen him in so far this season, and we've seen him every match week. Can he produce a moment of quality? Stand it up, and yeah, Chris, that pass, that attempt strengthens your case that maybe you need to give someone else another chance.
Yeah, you got to read the game and realize that it's just not his day. It's just not his day, and players have that.
Meanwhile, Humble Lion are preparing Norland Beckford, number 20, to enter the fray. That's Phillips, usually one of Dunbeholden's best players, win or lose. Gives a lot. Excellent crossing on the run, dead ball delivery, very good passer, can score a goal, good from free kicks, good with both feet, good on the defensive end. But this afternoon he's not met those standards at all.
Yeah, and as I said, Mr. Utility can play in all kinds of positions. That was the ball put into the box. There's too much flight on it yet again. Well held by Petrie. It almost looked like he was going to sneak out at the last minute. And then, yeah, the fall. Ooh, all the pressure going on to that right leg. Maybe jarring the knee. Not sure.
Well, it's the same knee that was bothering him from the first half. He claimed the ball above Peter McGregor's head. And when he landed, Keneal Hyde has talked himself into the book. So 3 Humble Lion men have had their names taken by referee Chris Mason. The change is going to be made now. And so Rowan Richards, his race is run, and number 20 Norland Beckford comes in to replace him. So Humble Lion, decent in the first half. It's the way they are. You'll never get spectacular from them. They're workmanlike, difficult to break down, physical in their challenges. Let's hear what Price is saying to them.
We have to play with some energy. We have to play with some energy. Come on, Pierce, you have to wake up, man. We'll play with some energy, man.
Bishop, we need more energy out there, man. Come on, man.
So, no need to translate that or to contextualize. It's plain and simple. The man wants more energy. He looked at Paisley and called him by name. Vishnu Harris called him by name. He said, we need more energy out there. Let's lift it up, lift our play up by putting more energy into what we're doing. That's what he wants. Second 876 water break over. These two plot how they can get Humberland to find a goal. Water break sponsored by 876 Spring Water, uniquely Jamaican. And as we noted, the second of them has expired. So 68th minute. And a match week where we've seen 4 completed games, producing only 4 goals, 2 in one game, 2 in another. Really hope that we don't get blanks here this afternoon. Dallas! For a moment there, I thought he would have found the right pass. Not even sure if that was a shot. Whatever it was, not good enough, not dangerous enough to bother Damien Hyatt in goal for Dunbeholden. The players from Portmore United are already out and going through their warm-up routine on the far side towards the Kingston party stand. Getting ready for the second game. There they are in the background against Malines United. This game, though, needs something to happen. Duar over the top. Beckford, Harris, wide to Dallas. Dyer sets off after him and gets there first. Shaquille Dyer. Phillips. McCarthy has some time and space. Christian, it breaks for him. Back into space to McGregor. McGregor can shoot! Bygrave! And just like that, Dunbeholden have picked the lock right out of the water break. A very, very dangerous moment for Premier League teams in this JPL. A lot of things happen out of the water breaks, and out of this water break, Dunbeholden have finally found their opening goal.
Yeah, goal build up once again. A bit slow in transitioning, but the pass was excellent forward initially by McCarthy. And then, yeah, we spoke about the chemistry between McGregor and Bygrave. There is another example of it. Knowing where each other are. Look at that from McGregor. Could easily have forced the shot from an acute angle, McGregor. But the pass was excellent. Christian with the initial slip pass, it was beautifully weighted. And look at that for a pass. That's a lovely pass to his strike partner, Bygrave. And yeah, he's the excellent tap-in man. He was never going to miss that. Clean with the finish. 9 on the season for Bygrave. And yeah, 10 goals in as many games. Wow.
So Humberland, the defense breached. Just moments after Andrew Price called for more energy from them. Coming onto the water break, they attacked. Dallas's cross come shot, harmless. And up the other end, Dunbeholden ran, and a move involving McCarthy, Christian, Bygrave and McGregor. Here's Bygrave in possession. Went for the shot, blocked by Keneal Hyde. Virgo can retrieve the situation. Beckford. Fouled. Referee Mason calling the play back. So we've been calling for something to happen. Something has happened. A Dunbeholden goal. And no prizes for guessing who has found the back of the net. Taffaroy Bygrave. 28 years old. In the form of his life. Paul Hall, the national senior coach, agrees with everybody that Bygrave is in the form of his life. Named him as one of 11 players from the Jamaica Premier League, 11 local-based players who've been called up to the senior reggae boys 23-man squad for upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Burton to McGregor. Barnes just followed him a long way. Christian. Expertly done by Christian before he was pushed over by Vishnul Harris. The fans for Dunbeholden loving that. As I say, in Catherine man myself, I can tell you that St. Catherine people are very noisy, especially when we have something good to cheer about. And yeah, the fans loving Christian at this moment. Pusey doing well, despite the attentions of Becker, but he's turned it over to Paisley. Struck Harris. Murray. Pass picked off by Christian. Under pressure. Paisley does very well to rob Christian. Bigger body. Clennon across the... goes over. There's Phillips. Phillips upset with Christian for how long he's holding on to the ball. That's what he was saying to him. You need to let the ball go quicker.
Yeah, agreed. Pulling challenges towards him, which is good from Christian, but then you need to release the ball. I think he has overdone it a couple of times now. Clennon again guilty of the foul.
Burton to McGregor. Barnes after him. Needs help, McGregor. Trying to turn with ostentatious flick and turn. Didn't work, but he's won a throw. Christian. Nice change of play to Phillips. Wider to Pusey. Barnes couldn't trap it. And Virgo tries to hit Dallas. Pushed over by Phillips. It's a Humberland free kick.
What this will also do is force the hand of Humber Lions. So Humber Lions have to come out of their cage now. So it might provide more opportunities for Dunbeholden because, yeah, if they want something from this game, they have to try and press.
McGregor. See what he was trying to do, just trying to make the angle to whip that goalwards. Did get the whip, but straight at goalkeeper Petrie. Get the sense that the handbrake has been lifted off this game by virtue of that Dunbeholden goal, and that's what we need.
Yeah, it's forced the hand of Humber Lions. If they want to get something from this game, they have to go and look a goal. So now a bit more open for Dunbeholden.
Clennon going to close down Christian once again, forcing him to go back. McCarthy. Virgo thought he won the ball cleanly from McGregor, but referee Mason says foul, free kick. Pusey in time and space. Can he find the right pass? It was a wild slash under no pressure. Some coaches sub players for less than that.
That was a shot from Pusey though. I think Pusey realized that everybody expected him to put the ball across. He got a nice bounce and then said, well, maybe I could catch the keeper off guard with the shot, but the execution is not there at all.
Humberland preparing some changes. Kareem Brand coming in. Afiba Chambers also coming in. Bygrave. Barnes there to ensure his keeper got there first.
Not a lot on the bench for Humber Lions in terms of attacking Powys, and that's part of their problem. So hence they try and keep it as close as possible and then hope that they sneak a little opportunity here or there, but not a lot of striking power for them. Dunbeholden blessed with attacking talent.
Christian to McGregor, trying to get out of a tight spot, has done well. Still battling McGregor, goes over, but deemed to have been the offender on this occasion. So the poverty of attacking options on the Humberland bench exemplified by the fact that they're trailing and they're looking to bring on Afiba Chambers, a defender. or defensive midfielder at best. And Kareem Bryan, who's a midfielder. So none of those men are goal scorers. And they're down, trailing, and those are the two men they're looking to introduce. Andrew Price doesn't have much attacking wise, so I'll tell you that, well, I have to make do with what I have. Lewis trying to find Clennon. Can he keep it in? That's the first mission. Yes, he does. But knocked out by Duarte. Still a humble and throw as the opportunity is created for Afiba Chambers to enter. Number 34 coming in. For number 7, Vishnu Harris. Not been his best day. The ex-Arnold Garden star. Lewis to Clennon off the thigh, miscontrol. Oh, Peter McGregor, the knee on the spin. Almost looked like a mixed martial arts move on poor old Xavier and Virgo. And McGregor apologizing. Virgo just checking if anything is broken. Satisfied that nothing is broken. See?
Should certainly be the oldest man in the park.
36 years old, yes, yeah. He is.
Realized there was nothing
out of place.
Yeah.
He checked his chest and the bones were intact and yeah, ready to go again.
The heart was where it is supposed to be.
Barnes trying to find a green shirt off the chest of Clennon. And Hyatt went and didn't gather, and it's bouncing loose. The Humberland players were appealing for a moment. Looked rather messy there. Let's see what happened. So Hyde got there before Hyatt, the ex-teammates colliding and appealing that he was fouled, Keneal Hyde, but referee Mason having none of it.
Yeah, Damien Hyatt may be guilty of falling asleep, hasn't really had anything to do all day, apart from that hit in, the first 10 minutes from Vishanal Harris?
Yeah, earlier than that.
Yeah. And it was very messy on that occasion. Ooh.
McGregor! Offside. The SportsMax app moment, the one moment of quality in this game so far. To be the Dunbeholden goal. Christian. McGregor. Very, very good pass. Precise to the P. And Bygrave invited to knock home his 9th of the season. He obliged. And yeah, national striker Tafferoy Bygrave has a nice ring to it. SportsMax app moment. Download the SportsMax app today for all the best content in the NBA, in football, in horse racing, in track and field. Sports discussion programs. Everything really. Phillips long to McGregor. Barnes wants this to run, just shield this into touch. And he, well, shielded behind for a goal kick and was successful doing that. 81st minute. Beyond Harris's header, which was an easy save for Hyatt. Humberland haven't done much. Well, not even done much, haven't done anything on the offensive front of note. But there's still only one goal in it, and they'll feel that they can still pinch something. The flicked header by Clennon. They've pushed Keneal Hyde up into an attacking position, it seems, with Afiba Chambers coming back to solidify the defense. Hyde wasting some time. So it looks as if Keneal Hyde is partnering Clennon up front for Humberland. Bygrave trying to flick it off as Virgo. As the armchair coach from the stands encourages the Dunbeholden boys to push up the field. Christian. McCarthy. Pass cut off by Paisley. This is Dallas. Beckford, good touches from Norland. Beckford under pressure goes down and he wins the free kick. Meanwhile, Kimoni Bailey is set to come in for Dunbeholden. And number 17, Tafaroy Bygrave, his number is up. So Dunbeholden feel that they've gotten enough from their national striker. Not quite sure he's back to full fitness yet after that early season injury he got. Meanwhile, Virgo with this free kick for Humberland. Seven Humberland players waiting on this free kick. Referee Mason having to peacemake. Anyway, here comes the free kick from Virgo. Curl towards the back post and it curls out of play. Crushingly disappointing from the veteran, who has much more quality than that from the dead ball. And it's not been his day on the attacking front. Meanwhile, Bailey comes in, number 12. Just runs back to the bench to get some last-minute instructions from Harold Thomas, and Bygrave going off on the far side. So 17 off and the 12 on for Dunbeholden. Meanwhile, number 32 and number 15 coming in for Humberland. 32, Kareem Brand. 15, Javon Smith. And number 29, Shamari Dallas off. Leaving the field on that far side as well. And number 22, Paisley, also off. So Raylan Paisley, Shamari Dallas out. Kareem Brand and Javon Smith in.
2 players to watch, getting an early afternoon.
Yes, indeed, sir.
Bygrave with a goal, good touches. Can't say that the distribution was the best we've seen from Dunbeholden over the course of 85 minutes, but what counts is that they get the 3 points at the end of the day. A bit surprised that Dallas is sacrificed for Humble Lion as well. With his energy, you know he's never tired. And he's going to fight right till the end. Paisley as well was one of the more enterprising players. Kind of died away though in the second half, so maybe tired legs.
Phillips again misdirected, and wherever he left his radar last night, Mario Phillips, he must go back and search for it. It's not been with him today. Clennon works the space for the cross, felt he was fouled, and the referee Mason agrees with him but says, look, that's not the way you appeal for a call. Also having a word with the Duar. Anyway, amid all that, it's the free kick for Humberland, which is the more important thing from their perspective. Virgo will hoping to do better than he did last time. Virgo's free kick. Met at the near post by Demario Phillips. McGregor out to the speedy Kimoni Bailey. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Forward to McGregor. Barnes out there after him. Can he keep it in? No. Not unreasonable to have expected Kimoni Bailey to pass that ball accurately from there. There's the armchair coach, who's been incessant with the instructions for the Dunbeholden players all game. Oh, lovely by Christian. And he plays Peter McGregor in with a glorious crossfield pass. McGregor inside the challenge. The shot, he didn't get much on it. Almost as if he kicked some of the turf, Peter McGregor. And he'll be very disappointed that after that, at the end of that sequence, he wasn't able to add the killer touch.
I have loved his play this afternoon though, George. He runs so intelligently. Yeah, the finish wasn't the best with the left foot, but so strong. Touches are excellent. Moves into space well. He's always working, McGregor. He's certainly a player for the future. And he will certainly be in a reckoning in a game that hasn't really shown a lot of quality. Obviously, Bygrave's goal, but McGregor's assist and his work rate right throughout. He's been very impressive, Peter McGregor, to me. Yeah, as I said, the distribution from the midfield today has been a bit disappointing. Yes, Christian in spurts, but Phillips, McCarthy and company have not necessarily lived up to the standard we're used to. And credit must be given to Humberland for also making it difficult.
Yeah, Phillips has been off his game whole game. McGregor, McCarthy and Christian have played much better second half. They weren't good first half by their standards or by any standards, but they did come to the party in the second half, especially Christian. Well, both of them did. But Phillips has had an off game. McGregor has had a good game, a solid game right throughout. No, he couldn't keep it in, so it's a Dunbeholden throw. Still time on the clock though for Humberland to get something from this game.
I mean, the back line hasn't been bad, but then again, not many questions have been asked by Humberland. Pusey has been good on the right flank as well. But you'd like to think if the result remains the same, that a man of the match performance would have to come from either McGregor or Bygrave, both integral in the results thus far.
Christian trying to pick Bailey out. It's a good ball that Bailey takes on the chest. To Pusey. Oh, it's a bad pass by Pusey. And Beckford trying to outsprint Bailey, no easy feet. Brand forward for Smith to chase. Really the impossible ask. Humberland have looked toothless this afternoon, it must be fair, we must say. Haven't really looked like a potent unit.
Not at all. When they have had the opportunities to move forward, those passes in critical positions in the final third have been poor, not even average, poor. That was another example. It's not that difficult to pass, but the weight on it was way off.
Christian going down, trying to buy the free kick, and he has convinced referee Mason that he was upended.
It's not a free kick, it's a throw, as far as I know.
Yeah, he was trying to convince the referee that he was fouled, but the referee ignored him. Expect 4 minutes to be added on at the end of the 90. It's actually a Dunbeholden throw, so Christian won't be unhappy. His team have the ball. Dispute resolution, part of Christopher Mason's remit as referee, and he just put those skills to good use there. Christian is taking the mickey out of a couple of the Humberland players. Not sure they'll appreciate that, being made to look like mugs. For the national coach watching, Christian probably believing that he ought to turn on the style. Still only one goal in it. Still time for Humberland to get a share of the points. They're the draw experts as Gregory Lewis. Outside to Brian, it was, the weight of pass was wrong and allowed Pusey to knock it away. 92nd minute. Through to the grateful arms of Damien Hyatt. Here's Paul Hall. Would love to ask him what he thought about this game on a surface like this. I'm sure he'll make some allowance for the quality of the surface the players are playing on. And we'd say, well, you know, you'd expect that the ball would run a lot better if Sabina Park was its usual self. Petrie's long clearance met by Dewar. McGregor. Right up into Barnes, and it's cleared further by Chambers. Hyde forward to Beckford. Pusey happy. Clear that far away. Quick restart though. Many balls around these days. Hyde. Into no man's land really. Not in the sector where Clennon was. Andrew Price, a hard day at the office for him. The paucity of attacking options available to him. Glaringly obvious this afternoon. Doesn't have the tools to open up a team and to score goals. Sometimes they get away with it. And oftentimes they've gotten away with it this season. But not this afternoon. They needed something, needed someone. They haven't gotten it. They don't have it today, it doesn't seem. Bad decision by Chambers. This is Bailey. To Barnes. Knocked away from him. From a promising position. Dunbeholden surrendered the possession. Here they come again through Phillips though. Phil grabbed the ball, believing he would have gotten a free kick, but he's adjudged to have handled the ball. It's a humble and free kick. Clennon to Lewis. Can't find Smith. And now it's Christian. Heading to the corner flag it seems. Under pressure from Virgo. But holding his own, Nicole Christian. Keeps it alive. And they're trying to knock it off Virgo for the corner. It's a goal kick. So referee Chris Mason has seen enough at the end of this game. Only one goal in it. That one goal to the boys in blue and white. St. Catherine Raiders, Dunbeholden. A Tafaroy Bygrave with his 9th on the season. There he is, number 17. National striker Tafaroy Bygrave. His goal separating the teams at the end. Dunbeholden beating Humberland 1-0 in the penultimate game of match week 10 of the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. So full match highlights. Action from the first half. Pusey across to McGregor. Couldn't keep his header down or couldn't get it down. And then Paisley with this corner that was met by additional Harris. Good connection. Hyatt making the save look easy. Then Bygrave, look at this take. Controls that sweetly. Creates a chance for Shakeen Powell leaning back. And sends that effort high. Harmless in the end. Clennon through to Paisley. Pushed over by Pusey, who was tracking back well, defending well. Christian over the top for McGregor. Keeper comes out, didn't get it. Claims to have been kicked by the striker. This is Bygrave with the empty goal. Can't find it. Another take, McGregor. Good work in both halves from him. Consistent in the quality of the work. on display this afternoon. Bygrave missed the open goal. Difficult chance though. Christian really started to play in the second half. That one aimed for the forehead of Phillips. Petrie intervened. And this is McGregor. Again, getting there before the goalkeeper. Xavier and Virgo in the right place to block. Christian. The Pusey. That was a gimme, a gift. That Pusey refused to take, sending his shot high. Looked easier to score from that angle. And then McCarthy to the feet of McGregor. Virgo actually got the touch that sent it to Christian. Christian into the path of McGregor. And his pass as precise as the crease in a schoolboy's trousers from the community tailor. Tafferoy Bygrave bangs home his 9th of the season. And that was enough for Dunbeholden to take all 3 points this afternoon. "15 shots overall, 9 by Dunbeholden. 2 shots on target for the Dunbeholden team. 30 fouls, an even split, 3 yellow cards, all 3 to Humberland players. 1 offside call against Humberland, that was. 6 corners, 4 to Dunbeholden. And Dunbeholden had 56% possession. Chris Taylor is in position for our man of the match interview.
Atafuroy, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on your 9th of the season. A difficult game for you, eh?
Yeah, it's kind of difficult, yes, but we just stick to the task and put out the...
How confident were you that the chance would come for you? You just had to stay focused.
I'm very confident. I just stay focused because I know I'm going to get the ball, so I just stay focused.
And added pressure on you as well. Congratulations on your call to the national team. The coach is here as well. Did you feel pressured in a game like this, or you were relaxed?
No, I'm relaxed. I'll give thanks for the call-up. A pleasure for represent my country. I just give thanks.
And the fact that you know that defenders coming into this match are looking out for you, they're targeting you. How does that feel? How do you manage that kind of pressure?
I just play simple. Nothing to rush, just play simple.
All right, Atafuroy, congratulations on your goal. Enjoy your win. All the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Atafuroy Bygrave, they are our man of the match, top marksman in the Premier League this season thus far. I'm now joined by Andrew Price, technical director at Humberland. Andrew, the first half was promising, but you guys fell away in the second half, didn't create enough opportunities.
Yes, you know, and that's what the game is of very small margins. We got some opportunities in the first half where we should have really taken the lead, and we didn't capitalize, and we started out a bit flat in the second half, and we really ceded a lot of space and room to the Dunbeholden team, and we conceded a goal because we were concentrating enough, and Atafari was able to score on the back post, you know, and you know I think Barnes did a good job. Young Barnes did a good job marking him the entire game, but you have to be tuned in for the entire 90 minutes. And the one time we weren't tuned in, they were able to score. We showed some energy and some fight in the latter parts of the second half, but we need to be more cohesive. And like I said, you know, we're going to have to continue working. It's a young team, young players, and they're going to learn on the job.
All right, Andrew, all the best for next week.
Thank you.
Commiserations on the loss. Andrew Price, their technical director of Humberland, obviously disappointed. I'm now joined by Ricardo Smith, assistant coach of Dunbeholden. Ricardo, this wasn't an easy match for you at all. Not necessarily the usual creativity we would see from Dunbeholden throughout the 90.
No, not a good game. As I told you before the game, these are the teams that are going to disrupt our rhythm, and they came really well today. You know, they didn't give us enough space, and we didn't create enough ourselves. But good game.
What would you and Harold have told the team at half-time? Because obviously it was a frustrating game in the first half for Dunbeholden. How did you get the boys invigorated for the second half?
We told them we look better with the ball on the ground. We were trying to play too much long ball, and they had tall defenders, you know, and speedy players also. So we weren't creating enough with the long ball, so we told them just put it on the ground and play.
All right, Ricardo, congratulations on the win. A big 3 points for you. You're heading up the table. All the best for next week.
Yeah, man, thanks. All right.
So that's all we have for you for this game between Dunbeholden and Humberland. Dunbeholden winning 1-0 courtesy of a strike from Atafuroy Bygrave in the second half. His 9th of the season, settling the matter. Dunbeholden 1-0 over Humberland in this Jamaica Premier League Match Week 10 fixture. Jamaica Premier League powered by Digital. We make way and clear the decks for the second game and final game of the day, final game of the match week. That's going to see Portmore United up against Malines.